Well, I woke up this morning to discover a pair of videos had been making the rounds of the blogosphere. It's a comparison of recruitment videos. One of them is for the United States Army, and the other one is for the Russian Army. So everybody is looking at these two compared, and they're all saying, we are totally screwed. I'm not sure I agree, but nevertheless, let's have a look at them. I'm going to go ahead and do the Russian one first. This is what the Russians ran or are running in order to recruit people into the Russian army.
Это первый день твоей новой жизни.
This is the first day of your new life. What was yesterday means nothing now. Who you were before, no one cares now. What's important now is who you'll be today. What do you know about yourself? What are you capable of? Questions may remain unanswered, but can you sleep soundly later on? Knowing yourself, knowing the limit of your possibilities. To hell with limits. Are you ready to break yourself? Every day, pain hardens you here. It was you who decided to prove something to yourself. The commander is here only for you to see an enemy in him, because without the enemy, there is no battle. Because without battle, there is no victory. But in reality, the main enemy is you, the you of yesterday. Your task is to track the enemy down, catch up to him, outperform him, become better than him, and return the victor. Because tomorrow is the first day of your new life. That's pretty hardcore. I think if I were going to try to recruit a bunch of people to basically conform to orders and kill other people, that's kind of what I'd be looking for. But here in the United States, of course, we're much more advanced than that. So from our high moral perch, let's take a look at the latest recruitment video that's been issued by the United States Army.
This is the story of a soldier who operates your nation's Patriot missile defense systems. It begins in California, with a little girl raised by two moms. Although I had a fairly typical childhood, took ballet, played violin, I also marched for equality. I like to think I've been defending freedom from an early age. When I was 6 years old, one of my moms had an accident that left her paralyzed. Doctors said she might never walk again. But she tapped into my family's pride to get back on her feet, eventually standing at the altar to marry my other mom. With such powerful role models, I finished high school at the top of my class, and then attended UC Davis, where I joined a sorority full of other strong women. But as graduation approached, I began feeling like I'd been handed so much in life, a sorority girl stereotype. Sure, I'd spent my life around inspiring women, but what had I really achieved on my own? One of my sorority sisters was studying abroad in Italy. Another was climbing Mount Everest. I needed my own adventures, my own challenge. And after meeting with an Army recruiter, I found it. A way to prove my inner strength, and maybe shatter some stereotypes along the way. I'm U.S. Army Corporal Emma Malone Lord, and I answered my calling.
I can clearly recall a day back in 1991 when I went into an office at Kaiser Permanente. I was doing some audiovisual work for them. And in the office space, I saw on the wall just a little joke slogan. Now, this was 1991, so this is 30 years old, and no doubt you've heard it before, but I hadn't seen it before. And on the wall was a poster that said, "The beatings will continue until morale improves." And that just stopped me in my tracks. I just laughed about that for 3 or 4 or 5 minutes. This is why, believe it or not, in the long term, I'm not too worried about the future of this country, in spite of this Army ad, not even in spite of it, because of it. The attitude of the left has been, in at least the modern woke era, been precisely the same as the words on that poster. The beatings will continue until morale improves. These idiots really believe this. They really do. They actually genuinely believe it. They believe that the beatings will have to continue until morale improves. What else would you call it? What else would you call the transformation of Star Trek to an optimistic, multicultural, multiracial adventure? The human adventure continues. No, not anymore. The left has turned it into a dystopian, brutal, violent, depressing, ridiculous, absurd place filled with absurd, weak people who cry all the time, because that's what Starfleet is supposed to be. And if you used to like the old Star Trek, well, the beatings will continue until morale improves. Did you like Luke Skywalker growing up? You know, farm kid who feels a calling to go rescue a princess and, you know, there's a pretty girl. Maybe we'll go save her. Got nothing else to do but shoot womp rats in the canyon. So I might as well get on this hot rod with this guy and chase after this princess. Well, he turns into the ultimate warrior over the course of 3 movies. The story of Luke Skywalker is a classic telling of the story of the hero. Did you like that story? Well, too bad for you, because we're going to completely undo him. We're going to turn him into essentially a loner, a murderer, a coward, a recluse, a hermit, all of that. We're going to continue the beatings until morale improves. And all across society, we see it everywhere, all the time, every day. The beatings will continue until morale improves. And the left continues to think that the more of this stuff that they shove down our throats, the more likely we are to take it. And the reason I feel better about America every day, 10 years ago I was feeling worse every day. Today I'm feeling better every day. Now you may think this is Pollyanna-ish of me, but it's not. I collate a lot of data. I try to see what's coming, and I collate data from everywhere. And I'm telling you, if I felt like America's future was gone, I would tell you that. I would tell you the truth, but I don't. And the reason I don't is very simple. It's exceedingly simple. And that is simply this. No one is buying this nonsense. No one. Now, I'm not going to disrespect the woman who was in that commercial. It's none of my business who her parents were. If she's serving in the U.S. military, she's certainly entitled to the respect that uniform generates, at least within me. And I can tell you, however, that story is a little bit atypical. I don't know how many UC Berkeley sorority sisters are enlisting in the U.S. Army when they could be, as she said, climbing Mount Everest, but I'd be willing to bet you that the number is relatively small. So the question is, why would you make an ad like that? Is it because they expect to fill their recruitment quotas with UC Berkeley students who are used to being out there protesting things? And by the way, did you notice the protesters in this? Love, peace, love one another, walking down the streets. No yelling, no smashing windows. No. Fighting for America's freedom. Now even the Army is in anticipatory compliance with what they perceive to be the new paradigm. And the thing that just fills me with hope, and today, and it seems like increasingly every day, not just hope, but actual radiant happiness, is that these idiots, the ones that are putting their Coca-Cola and Budweiser and Disney and Star Wars and Star Trek and all the others, and now the U.S. Army, these idiots think that this is going to work. They think that this is somehow going to change us. They actually believe that the beatings will continue until morale improves, and that is evidence to me that these people are 100% absolutely and totally blind. They are blind, blinded by their own ideology. The reason that you can tell that socialism is a lie is because the people selling the product don't use the product. What does that tell you about the product? And more importantly, what does it tell you about the person selling the product? Bernie Sanders owns 3 houses, and the founder of Black Lives Matter just bought a $1.5 million house in a white community. Al Gore consumed 6 times more electricity than his neighbors, and on 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 it goes. The people who are selling this don't buy the product, and they expect that we will, and we're not. If the ratings for the new Star Trek had been higher, if the final trilogy of Star Wars characters that destroyed the Luke Skywalker legacy had been out of the park fan successes, if the product was selling I would say we're done. But it's not selling. It's not selling at all. It took 70 years for the Russian people to realize it. But now it's easier to do business in Moscow than it is to do in Los Angeles. We fought the Vietnam War against communism. Now, Vietnam is our number 6 trading partner. They all want cell phones. They all want to be rich. They want to drive nice cars. We sell a product that we use and that other people want. The left doesn't. They're blind, blind, blind.